What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're talking about the loose custom light series of rods. Been fishing for a few months. Got 3 of them. I'm going to give you my thoughts and impressions, good and bad, right now. This channel is all about bass fishing gear, trends in the industry. You heard me say it, so please like and subscribe if you like that content. Now we're going to talk about these loose custom light rods. And I did an unboxing video few months ago. So I had no uses in my mind for these rods. I wanted to see how they felt, wanted to fish them, and I've done that. And there's 3 different models, and overall I really like this series of rods. They start about 150 bucks. So in my mind, that's kind of a mid-range price for fishing rods. There's some that are up to about 180. It just kind of depends on the length and things like that. But there's 3 different rods here, and I'll tell you my thoughts on each of them. So there was 2 casting rods, one's a cranking rod, and then a spinning rod. So I'll give you a look at the rods themselves. Really good cosmetics. They have the wind grips. There's had some comments on that unboxing. A lot of people are not fans of the wind grips, but I really am. I mean, they're comfortable. Feels like, grabbing a golf club or tennis racket. I mean, they have that good feel. So I am a fan of the wind grips. A lot of people aren't, but I really like those. This is a different generation of the wind grips too, not like the original ones that came out. This is, I think it's called like the dry tack or something like that. So it's a little bit different than the original. So if you had a bad experience, they have changed a little bit. They're really comfortable in my mind. So they also have the split grip, EVA foam, pretty standard. But really the whole purpose, I mean, this is called custom light. So they are very light. Good components, again, a mid-range price, so you can't expect too much, but they work really, really well. This is the one that I was really kind of confused about at first because it's called the Magnum Hammer. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that's going to be, your flipping and pitching rod, punching and things like that. I mean, it's a Magnum Hammer, but really it's not that heavy. I mean, it's a medium heavy, 7-foot, moderate fast. So it's kind of a perfect reaction bait rod in my mind. And not for all reaction baits. You can see I got a spinner bait on there. I've also thrown a swim jig on this, and I've also thrown a buzz bait. So it's really good for those techniques. Not quite a Magnum Hammer in my mind, but that's just what they call it. But I really do like this rod because it has a nice tip. It's that moderate fast action. So it is not extra fast where it's only at the top. It bends throughout, and that's why I got a spinner bait on here. It's really good for that. Got it with that Lew's Hyper Mag. So overall, this is a very light combo. This rod is, again, very versatile, rated up to 20 pound, 1/4 to 5/8 ounce. So just kind of perfect for those swim jigs, buzz baits, those types of baits. I think it's a little bit too light to throw a frog. I guess you could do a little bit light pitching with it. So really for me, it's just a reaction bait rod. That's why I got that spinner bait on there right now. Okay, the next one was one, I honestly wasn't a huge fan of this rod, fishing it. This is their spinning rod. This is called the all-purpose spinning. So it really kind of is. It's a 7-foot medium. So you see I got a little swim bait on there. I have fished a wacky rig on it. I don't know what it is about it. I'm not super crazy about this rod, honestly. Maybe it's the different foregrip, the balance, whatever it is. It works, maybe it's a little bit too heavy in my opinion. I mean, it is all-purpose. Now that I think about it, that's probably what I need to do is try maybe some heavier Nico rigs or things like that are a little bit heavier. Actually, I got a fairly heavy swim bait on here because my son was using this rod, casting it in the wind, so I did put a heavier swim bait on there for him, but I haven't fished it. It may be better with this. I have just used, your traditional 1/4 ounce, your weightless wacky, things like that. So again, I can't say it's a bad rod. I just haven't found a really good use for it in my arsenal. But same principle, lightweight rod. It has that same wind grip, good components, just an all-around spinning rod. So that's my thoughts on that one. Next one is one of their, I believe they have 5 cranking rods. This one's a medium or deep crankbait rod, 7'4" medium. So I really wouldn't use this for a deep crankbait, definitely not like a 6XD or anything. And the way I fish, I have caught most fish on kind of the medium range crankbaits with this bait. I actually had a tournament a month and a half ago, did a lot of cranking. I was cranking a deep little Len at the max. I was also throwing an I'm a pin jack, and I also caught some on a square bill. So that's kind of where I find this rod is best. It's a kind of all around cranking, again, 7'4" medium. It's kind of does a lot of things, but it doesn't, you're not gonna be doing those Magnum deep divers. You're gonna need something a little bit beefier. But it's a good all-around crankbait rod. Again, same thing, comfortable, lightweight, really no complaints about this cranking rod. And I do a lot of cranking, and I like to have multiple crankbaits tied up at the same time so you can quickly adjust. You know, if you get on that cranking bite, you don't want to have to keep retying. So typically when I'm on a cranking bite, I got 2 or 3 cranking rods rigged up. With that being said, I really did like this rod, even compared to some of my other favorite cranking rods. I found myself wanting to use this rod. So it is a very good cranking rod. And that's evident if you look at the Lose Pro Staff. They have a lot of crankers on there, you know, Van Dam, Rose, and there's so many hardcore crankers that are part of it. So I know they had some input on the cranking rod design. Really like it. Again, it's got that moderate fast action, so it's gonna bend very well, kind of like that Magnum hammer. So that's my thoughts on these 3 custom Lite rods. There's a whole bunch more to choose from, but really you can't go wrong for that price point, you know, 150-ish. It's a really good rod for that price. If you like the wind grips, they're definitely a good option. That's the biggest complaint I saw from that first video, but me, I don't mind it. I think these are comfortable, lightweight, and pretty reasonably priced. So have you fished these custom Lite rods? Let me know your experiences with them. But for me, they're a good rod, good all-around quality rod for not too much money. Thanks for watching.